Um, I went to Arcabessa Junior Secondary School. It was not high school when we went there. It was a junior secondary school. It was junior secondary because I went through grade 9 when I entered in 1973. But by the time I got to grade 9, they had extended it to grade 10, grade 11, right? And had fun years. As I said before, I used up my years in school effectively. I um, I was a multi-sports guy. I played volleyball for the school, and I ran track for the school. Talked about the volleyball already, but let's talk about track for a minute. I took up track when I was in eighth grade. So by the time ninth grade came around, I was practicing to be, you know, um, a 100 meter, 200 meter guy. Running for my house, and in the 11th grade, um, I came in maybe third, but I was right there on the line with everybody, Pope and Bebe. We were all very quick guys. And then oh, what's his name was there too? Sopa, the guy that I beat in grade 9. He was right there too, right next to me. We all went down on the line on the wire. And then but in my final year, from grade 9, 10, and 11, I was also a multi-event guy. Okay, so I was doing shot put, discus, long jump, 4x1, and the 100 meter. Right, this is five. So I did five in grade 9, five events in grade 10, and five events in grade 11. And in grade 11, the school had a wonderful program, and I hope that this program has spread throughout our country, where they have a work study program for the 11th graders who go out on a 2 or 3 week work study program where, if you did well in school, you get a chance to go out on a work study program. So I got to go to a hotel. By that time, it was Jack Tar. So I think Sports Day was in March. So I in June we were doing our work study program, where we didn't go to school. It was cool to go to the hotel, and I spent 3 weeks at the hotel. And the best day of my 11th grade was when I got a call from the principal's secretary to say, hey, Arthur, they call me Arthur. I don't know why they call me Arthur. Hey, Arthur, we need you to come back to school now. I was on work study, but they need me to come to school now, because the principal need me. So I got out and took a bus, went up to school. When I went there, they were having a party for me in the teacher's office. I was the top athlete for the year. I had gotten 5 medals. It was 3 gold, 1 silver, and a bronze, something like that. I know it was 3 gold. And they called me champion boy. So I held champion boy for a couple of months at school before I left. And that was a good moment for me, because that school did not prepare you for O levels. Didn't prepare you for O levels. It was the same year that my dad died. Right? My dad died September 1978. I graduated school in 1978. junior secondary school in 78. And my dad died September. I was gonna tell you about school, but listen to this. So my mom, this may go on a little bit longer. So when I was home, I got notification from mom that my dad, who I hadn't seen for 4 years, because he had left Jamaica and had gone to live in New York, Philadelphia area. And so when we got note that our dad was sick and they need my mom, the hospital needs my mom to come to him, and she didn't have a visa. And so my mom always take me anywhere she goes, right? And so she opted to go to the visa office. She didn't take me stand, but I heard the story after. And she went to the visa office to get the visa. And you know how the visa office on Oxford Road was back in the day, right? Long line down Oxford Road. So my mom would have to be there from 3 o'clock in the morning. So she went up to her sister and stayed the night, and then went to Oxford Road early morning. And she said when she went there, she stayed in line and she went up to the visa officer and told them that my dad was sick in the hospital, and the hospital called, and she need to go and get she need to go to him. Whatever mama told those visa officers, they turned her down. They turned her down, and mama said she walked away from the window and she bawled one piece of ball. Them almost shut down the place. She makes so much noise, and it was not intentional to get anybody's attention or anything. She just could not see how her husband is going to die, and she not get a chance to see him. And she bawled down the whole place and couldn't stop her from bawling. So she said she felt the security guard touched her and led her back to the window. And they gave her the visa. And she bawled more. Co-bawling. Anyway, when she went away, my mom went away the morning after she gave birth to her granddaughter, Sasha. All right? And then when she went away, she was there for a couple of weeks. My dad was in a coma, and she kept in touch. And then, a couple of days later, he died. But you know how we kept in touch with mama, right? Through we didn't have cell phones those days. Can you imagine? Think about it for a minute. Now we can be anywhere, in the bush, and have a cell phone to talk to somebody, right? In Arokobesa, back in those days, we had one public phone in Arokobesa, one, okay? And I remember having to talk to mama, and how we communicated. We had to call collect, right? And then when the collect call goes through, she doesn't accept it. We hang up, and then she called back. or for example, if she calls and we're not there, right? Somebody's going to answer that call box. And whomever answers it is going to find me or find Sonia, wherever we are, and say, hey, you need to come back to the call box at 2 o'clock in the evening later on because your mother going to call you at that time. That's the way our phone system works at the time. Because only limited amount of persons had phone in their house. I mean, we grew up phoneless. I mean, for a long time, we didn't have any electricity. So our community is not what it is today. I mean, I have 2 cell phones right now. I can be anywhere I want, anytime I want, and I can call somebody. And that wasn't the same thing, And so I'm so happy to be a part of the movement, to see all of the developments of communication and technology, really, really a nice thing. And so, I went to high school, right? Port Maria High School. After I finished with junior secondary, in order to take my O levels, because at that time I didn't think that we could do anything, we could be anything at all in Jamaica without having O levels. All right, because in order for you to compete, right, you're going to take you're either not getting a job or So I decided to enroll in Port Maria High, and I'm putting something on notice right now. So Port Maria High pretty much paid for me going through the 1 year that I was there. I never have no money. I went there, I enrolled, tell the principal, I said, boy, I don't have the money, and say, Mama, the America, and she will send it if she have it. And each time each month come and tell me, say, boy, when money I come, he said, boy, I don't know. When before I left there, he said, you're all right. So I hold at school, of all the things that I've done, in our lives and stuff, I haven't really gone back to that school. That's so unfair, don't? And so I need to make a special effort. Mr. Francis, thank you very much. I feel so proud, right, that when I went to that school, I actually got there like October, November of the year, because I had to start late. Because I don't know why I started late, but I started late. But by March, I had made my impressions on the school campus, and I remember I was in 4th form, right, and they had Teachers' Day. They had Teachers' Day, and I was so proud that I was chosen to be a teacher that day, to teach math, right? I had no clue that I'd have been chosen, because they had hundreds of students. There's 4Y, 4X, 5Y, 5X, and they didn't choose a lot of those students. They chose me. And so I was so proud, to be a teacher for 1 day. I think that was just a big thing. Anyway, so that's where I met my ex-wife. That same person who cleaned out her oil pan to send me to college for the interview. So that's where I met her. And she'll tell you the story about how she identified who I was and said, boy, I like a guy there now, I like that guy. Tell her friends, say, I like a guy there now. And so we met. And I spent some years after that together. Not primary, but Port Maria High did good for me, for my ego, right? I was still running and I was still playing volleyball when I got there. And I mean, I don't know that anybody was as fast as me at the school. I don't know anybody was playing volleyball at the level that I was playing at the time. And it was a smaller school and thing, but we had to compete with different schools across the Seventh Day Adventist schools across Willowdene and Harrison, all of these schools, and we met up at one place and have a whole day of events, and it was really cool to be at Portmore High. It was a very small school at the time, one building. I passed now, I see them have two buildings, and up on top and bottom, and I say, oh my God. I love I love that the experience. I love the experience because I met my after I met my my girlfriend then. She lived in Islington. I live in Wilderness. And she never noticed, but half the time that I went to see her, I actually walk 8 miles from Port Maria to Islington through all of the creeks and the corners of the bamboos that made noise on the street and stuff. I just had to choose my time the right way. So I'd walk up and drive down. So she wouldn't know that I walk up. Never tell her that's too shame. Because I never had the money to pay a bus to go there. And moreover, sometime of the day bus not run anyway if you got Islington. Islington is like half of the beaten, the trodden tracks. It's way up in a bush, Islington. And so you might get one bus to go up there in the daytime. And probably in the evening you get another one or something like that. So it wasn't a normal route at the time, and so I had to walk very far to see my girlfriend at the time. And tell you something, she had an auntie there that I was so afraid of. Oh my God! I'm a big man, 18-year-old, but she was the principal of the school up there, and everybody in the whole community, them afraid of her. So I catch afraid too, She didn't want to see me there at all, but then I don't even remember talking to her. If I did, it was just to meet her. Linda would have just said, "Here's Leo, my friend." She couldn't say boyfriend. I enjoyed Port Maria High. I enjoyed my high school. I made full use. I sang on choirs in Port Maria High also. But those people they could sing, Jesus, please. The people they can't sing. I mean, there was a guy named Dowding. Jesus. That boy bass sound like the OJ's bass type, But there's one thing I know about persons at the Seventh Day Adventist high school that I went to, they could sing. And I think almost all Seventh Day Adventists, it's like they practice this stuff all day long. They know how to sing. I just had to share that the high school, my high school experience. It was great. It's wonderful. I wouldn't give that up for anything. I had wonderful time. Going to when I was at junior secondary high, we had a farm. We had a farm that the students go up and dug the earth up and plant stuff. We had callaloo and pineapple and carrots and this farm was in a little space, almost like a valley. When you walk inside there, it's just one way in and one way out, pretty much, but the farm was well kept, and I don't know if they have any farms now, but it was really an experience to go out and the whole class out there, and with them, some are dig, and some are plant, and some are water, and some are reap, and I mean it was really an experience, and I think that we should all get it. We built when we went to that school, the field was just all rocks, so we cleared up a lot of that rock out of that place and made a football field of it, and we had a volleyball court that it was all dirt, and then they turned it into concrete, not concrete, asphalt, and we had somewhere to play and stuff. So the 70s was good time for me. I lost my dad in the 70s, but it's been a long time. 1978 It's 42 years I lost my dad. All right, this is Leo Gilling, and you can catch me on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter. Leo Gilling, Leogilling, one word or two words. All right, bye bye.